So, with your siblings, you know, tell me about your siblings, and then after you tell about your siblings, tell about your parents, and then.
Oh,
That would be
you
it.
don't want to repeat a,
No,
you don't
yes.
want to repeat a hair conversation, do you? I mean,
No.
it took us far up.
well,
short
through the
version.
last
Yeah, do the short version.
Yeah, just say this thing because
Like, just tell us the siblings in order, and if they passed or if they're still here, and then just a little short thing about your parents and what you love and appreciate about them.
Well, you're the only one left, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm the only one left. All right, so at age 87, coming on 88 in a couple of months, my story is that if you marry a good wife and she treats you right and cooks good food, you'll probably live a long time. And my siblings, Ruth was the oldest. She died of cancer of the liver after having it previous 5 years in her eye, her left eye.
Grace wasn't the oldest?
No.
Oh,
Then Cecil.
I thought Grace was the oldest.
Cecil died in a car accident when he was overly concerned about financial affairs. And he died in California. And then it was Grace, and she just recently died in San Mateo, California. And she had just passed her 100th birthday, because she turned 100 on 30 November, and she died like the first week in December. And Ruth had 4 children. Cecil had 6 children, 4 with one wife, 2 with another one. And Grace had, I don't know what she had, 9, 10, 11, somewhere through there. Anyway, she had them. I don't know how many Grace had. But then after that, it was Warren. He was the 4th one that was born in the cowshed up here. He had 3 wives that I'm aware of, and he had 1 with the first one, about 5 with the second one, and the third one he had 1. And he had a blood disorder that he got from the Navy. And his last job was sheriff's deputy in Boise, and he passed. He was both. The only one that lived past 60 was Grace. She was over 100. The rest of them all died somewhere between 46 and 53. The next 2 up after Lauren, it was Isla Mae. She married
Paul
the
Taylor.
first one. No, there was one before that. Huckenboo or Hegenboo or some kind of a boo. Huckenboo.
Hagenbuch.
Something like
Charles Frank Hagenbuch.
that. Okay, very good, thank you. Anyway, he was a loser. And and she married Paul Taylor. Had 4, was it 3 or 4? 3. Had Eileen, Lori, and Barry. Had 3 children with him.
but she died older than 40 or whatever thing.
Yeah, she was a little, but not much. She was early 60s. She lasted a little longer than the boys. And then there was Calvin. He's the one that died the youngest. He died with stomach cancer, and he had 7 children, 2 boys and 5 girls. And then there was Loa Ann. And we couldn't, Dean was saying 8, but we could only count 7 last night. And,
You mean his siblings?
Kids.
yeah,
Oh, sibling.
Well, it shows here Leroy Hare Jr. and then Lois Hare.
she died young. She was a baby when she died.
Lois, then it's Leanne, Joyce, Paul,
Yeah,
Dean, Anita. Yeah, only 7.
Yeah, that's all I came up with. So then it was Colleen, and Colleen died somewhere in her late 60s,
She was 7.
70, whatever. And she had a hysterectomy, and the doctor sewed her up and left some stuff inside, and among other things, she was bleeding. And by morning, she was in shock, and she lost her motor skills, couldn't talk, couldn't feed herself. She was like a vegetable, and she got a little bit better over the next 10 years, but that was the end of her. And then there's me, and then there's Rel. I was 2 years younger than Colleen, and 5.5 years older than Rel. And he had Dina, Laurel, Danny. They're the ones that I know that he fathered. And what else? What
The
else?
other guy,
ever else
the
he
other
did?
boy.
Dina, Laurel, and Daniel
Oh, that's done.
with Deanna.
And he had, I think the rest of them were adopted kids from the wives.
The Dally girl that was Carrie's relative
Yeah.
was through Glenda
Yeah.
Wolstenhume.
He wasn't the biological father.
And I found out I didn't realize he had a second wife. He had 3 wives, and I didn't realize the second one was the Florence Harper.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, he told me that he was married 5 times
Oh,
to 3 women. And how that went, I don't know. But could have been more too, because he had some secrets that remain secrets.
Did you mention Marla?
That's right, Marla was one.
She was the
Oh,
last one, I think.
Marla.
Marla, yeah. She
I
was
forgot
one.
about that. What was her
Yeah.
last name?
Cook?
Her last maiden name. Yeah, because she's not listed in here, but I need to update this. It looks like I need to
Well,
update
she's
this.
probably still living, so.
Oh, that's true.
Marla was with him when Morel passed.
Yeah.
And these others was in between.
Yeah, you're right.
If they're still living, you'd have to
That's right,
hand
you're
place it in.
But I'm noticing I haven't even put in my cousins' names with their parents yet. Once I put that in, it'll open up a whole bunch more stuff.
Yeah.
Nope. Rel, did you tell me the story of, I'm so horrible at remembering your stories, but up on the hill with the sheriff getting shot, right?
Here's the way that went. So he would go on a drinking binge,
Who was that?
Rel,
Oh,
and he'd get a bunch of beer and he'd go and sit up on the mountain and drink his beer, and when it was gone, he'd come back down, and so he was always on the prowl for another woman, always, even while he was married, and he had his eyes set on Louise Twitchell, so he goes
Really?
up there, and
That's funny.
they lived just under the round top where Rel was prone to camp for days under a cedar tree. So the father, Rossburn, proceeds to get him off his land and leave Louise alone. And Rel has this revolver. He was a cowboy, trying to cowboy again. And they start scuffling over the gun, and Rel shoots himself in the foot. And then the state police come, and from then on, he was in state custody. He was either in Orofino at the hospital up
State
there.
Mental Hospital.
Yeah, or he was in a hospital down here in Blackwood. I remember him asking, "Oh, Bill, I gotta have some cigarettes. Can you go buy me a carton of Camels?" That was his favorite cigarette. Yeah, I guess I could do that. So I go buy him a carton of Camels, and he ends up with a stroke, and he survives that one for about 2 weeks. And then the second one hits, and it takes him out. There you go.
Who was the baby infant? We saw the grave, the headstone. You had a little sister, Della.
Della, I forgot Della. Yeah, she is just to the left of Mom and Dad's headstone, and infant Taylor is there too.
I saw that one.
Yeah, that was that was Anna Mae's baby boy that died out there. So she actually had 4, 2 girls, 2 boys.
How old was Della?
Della, she was about 2 years younger than Rel. So I remember that it was on a Sunday or a Saturday. Saturday. I think she was born on Saturday, and my grandmother, Munns, came down to be midwife for Mom and help her with the pregnancy because she mother would never go to a hospital, and so the baby needed oxygen and she needed attention, and she didn't get the oxygen, so the baby turned blue. They call her a blue baby. And I remember seeing her there, just a tiny little thing, all blue, and I wondered what Dad was doing. I heard noises out there, and he was making her coffin. He makes her a coffin, lines it with a sheet, and they place her in the coffin, and the bishop comes, and I don't recall whether it was Saturday or Sunday, but it was a weekend because I wasn't going to school. And we put her in the little coffin and took it out to the cemetery and buried her.
And did Aunt Ella Mae, did she have multiple sclerosis? Is that how she passed? Or was
Well,
it something else.
They diagnosed it. They diagnosed it as multiple sclerosis, but she actually had a tumor on the brain, and the tumor killed her. And at the time, she was secretarian for, well, she was retired out of her job, but anyway, the last job she had was secretary down at the State Hospital South, Blackfoot. That's all I know about it, Judge.